The novel coronavirus took over the planet in late 2019 and brought down governments to its knees.
The government has issued a stark warning that we are at a tipping point on coronavirus.
In India, the situation was no different, rather worse. A complete lockdown on all non-essential activities was imposed. For a country of more than 150 million migrant workers, the odds were very difficult. What followed next was absolute mayhem.
A child is sitting, one is walking, and the mother is carrying. And this family of 5 has to walk about 300 kilometers to get home.
As soon as the reports of the reverse migration of these workers started pouring in from all parts of the country, Ekta Parishad plunged into action. Being one of the largest people's movement in India, coordination points were set up in 14 states of the country. Around 3,000 volunteers engaged themselves in the immediate relief work. The most urgent demand was food supplies because most of these workers are daily wage earners, having no savings at all. Along with food, rations which included grains, pulses, vegetables, bread, spices and cooking oil was also the apex priority for Ekta Parishad during the crisis. From east to west and north to south, the extensive and deep-rooted volunteer base of Ekta Parishad made sure that help reaches out to the most vulnerable groups of the people. Along with food, masks were also distributed and made sure that no one is left behind. However, from Bhopal, the volunteers galvanized a different approach. They reached out to the frontline workers fighting the epidemic. They provided meals for the police officers, the doctors and medical staff, and the employees of the municipal corporation. While all these immediate response was being carried out by the proactive volunteers, there was a growing concern about the future of these returning migrant laborers. As is observed in the Indian subcontinent, the reason of migration is due to unavailability of resources and scarcity of water in the villages. Hence, the efforts were made by Ekta Parishad to create employment in the village itself. Water harvesting structures like ponds, wells, canals, and small check dams were developed through Shramdan. Shramdan is a Hindi word which means collective contribution of labor. As close as 100 Shramdan camps were organized in villages. These engaged thousands of migrant workers and villages and ensured food for work as a relief component of their labor. As for the future, Ekta Parishad plans to encourage setting up of various community-based models of livelihood activities. These include cottage industries, organic farming and cooperatives. Setting up green banks and facilitating public distribution system would ensure food security. Advocacy for strengthening rural economy and labor welfare through legal and policy reform with the state governments have already begun.